Welcome to the Daily App Show iPhone edition. Today we're going to take a look at an app called HiBye, which is a different type of contact manager. Now, I'm sure you've seen tons of contact managers out there, but this one is different because it actually uses your contact manager on your iPhone instead of its own internal contact manager. What this application does is it allows you to manage your new contacts that you get, specifically contacts that you get that you haven't decided whether or not you want to keep in your iPhone, because not all contacts are ones we want to keep in. We're out meeting people. If you're in business or you're just a very social person, you're out meeting people, getting contact information from people and putting it in your phone and then having a hard time remembering where and when you met this person. So in this application, it makes it easy for you to do that. There's two ways to input contacts. You could simply hit plus right here and we can add a new contact, or of course we could even import existing contacts. But the best way to use this application is to actually use the dummy plug that it puts in your device. So let's take a look and see settings here. We can enable a dummy, and you can see that we have that option turned on and one dummy in play. Now let's go out of the phone, go into our main phone's contacts, and you can see here that we have a HiBye dummy. And it says basically all you need to do here is edit this contact information, and it's going to go ahead and import it into the app. So I'm just going to go ahead and type in Jared and test. And we'll go ahead and scroll down and enter in a phone number. And we'll hit done. Alright, so we've got a basic contact here that we've entered into our contacts page. You can see now shows up under Jared Test. So now if we go over to the application again and open it up, go back to our main screen, you'll see that it shows up there. And I can view this contact information right here, of course, very easily. I can edit it as well. I could tap on this arrow and I can get the timer information and set some custom stuff for it. So what's really neat about this application is that after the set amount of days, it will expire from my iPhone device. It doesn't delete it all the way. It actually moves it over to an archive section within the app, but it does delete it out of our contacts list. Because when you're out meeting people and you're adding contact information to your phone, it's really easy to get a lot of people's contact information. Maybe you didn't necessarily want it to stay in your device, which if you're like me, it means it's going to sync over my mobile me and sync with my computer. It's going to sync with my iPad. It's going to sync with everything else that I have that I use to communicate with. And so with this application, it helps me keep that under control so that way my contacts list don't get out of control. So alert before deletion, yes, I would want that on because I would not want it to delete it without asking, but of course I can leave that off and just have it save it to the archive and delete it from everything else. I can go in and create categories. Here are some preloaded categories that it comes with. We also have additional categories that we can create on our own. From here I can delete this permanently, I could send it to the archive, or I can save it permanently, which disengages the timer and allows it to remain in my contact list. So let's hit delete permanently and see what happens. It has now deleted it from this list. If I go out to my contacts, you can see it is no longer here either. It has removed it. And so now in this application we can view this information down below as well, which is our timeout section, which would be any timeouts that it's asked us to confirm. We have archives, which would be items that of course had expired, had been removed from our device, but had not been removed from the application. It's very easy to manage those. And then under settings, we have the ability to set that timer to something. Instead of it being 1 month, we can set it to a day, a week, a couple of weeks, a couple of months, however we want to set that up. We can choose the default to ask before deletion, so it sends us an alert, or we can just have it automatically remove them from our device, send them to the archive. Of course, we could turn that off, and it gives us a warning saying that it's going to go ahead and just delete it flat out, and it's not going to save the information. So we would want to leave that on just to err on the side of caution. Right here we can create those custom categories, so I could type in categories and help myself keep things under control as far as when and where I met people. If I'm really out there meeting people at different places, I may create categories for those different places even. And then, and of course, in the dummy section, you can create multiple dummies, up to 5 dummies that you can add for quick adding information when you get it into your normal contact manager on your iPhone. So this application is really cool. I love the idea of it keeping my contacts under control so that I don't get out of hand with adding so many contacts that I probably don't necessarily need their information in my iPhone. I just want their information. Obviously, I can use this application to manage that. So there's also additional information here under Help. So I think you're going to like HiBye. Definitely recommend that you go check it out in the App Store.